I never tire of waking up on board. It's always great, but sometimes it's better than others. And this is a beautiful morning, anchored in a little bay, I can't remember what it's called at the moment, to the east of Falmouth. We're about to up anchor and then go over to Falmouth in order to pick up a package of boat spares. Getting a bit of weed picked up on there, but the red part of the chain that you might just be able to see down there means 10 metres, and it is measured in 10 metre increments, colour coded, which is red, yellow, blue, white, green, and you remember that by saying rub your balls with grease. Job done. Get back on that helm. We're up, ready to go. Back into Falmouth again, and a little bit different this time because plenty of pleasure boats out. Polish skipper, ship coming in. The power of the Boris. One word, everyone's out. Our timing was pretty good there, Asher. Sneaking in front of the container ship.
Cornish pasty might be open. Shop. One that they were doing up the last time we were here during the lockdown.
Be pretty nice, wouldn't it?
We are sailing from Falmouth, heading towards Helford River. Pretty windy. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. What have we seen? 28 knots so far. Big of a gust coming through now. 27 knots. Nice. Jib only. Bit lazy, but a nice little cruise out. Feels good. Blow the cobwebs away. 29 knots. Nice. Sometimes the choices in life aren't easy. Maybe you have chosen to adventure, but maybe that is tomorrow. Just don't allow too many tomorrows to pass you by. None of us know how many we have. My advice is simple. We had a nice night at anchor. The shallow water alarm went off at low water, which was as predicted. We had 1.3 metres under the keel at low water, so that makes for a nice, deep enough and safe little anchorage. It's very nice here, tucked in the trees. Very pleasant. We love a dinghy mission, so with Altor securely anchored, we headed off to have a look around the Helford River. I always like having a nose at the lovely waterfront properties, but I'm always happy to go back to my own floating home where the view is constantly changing. We cruised the shore by dinghy, we walked the land by foot, and even flew the drone. Days like this are glorious. It felt like one long stolen moment of bliss. The weather was perfect, and after a lovely full day we cruised back to Altor in the setting sun.
You know, it's 8:45.
Well, last night we were in bed while it was still light.
Yeah, about 9:45.
Yeah, 9:45. Hardcore, eh? It's a beautiful day out here. A day to say goodbye to the West Country. Had a nice time here. Disappointing amount of pasties as far as I'm concerned, and cream teas. But you can't have everything, can you? Just waiting for the wind to fill in, which I do have ultimate confidence that it will, from that direction. I just said to Asha that we are on a course of 230, and if we were to carry on this course, we would end up in Barbados in 3,403 miles. The only problem is I don't think we've got the food for it. I'm not sure we've got the water for it, unless I was to jettison some cargo. A little breeze is coming from the east, northeast. We're doing 4.5 knots, just about keeping the jib full most of the time, and heading a little bit above our course, a little bit north of our waypoint.
So we changed the course and we are not going to Barbados.
No, never mind. Doing pretty good here. We are flat enough water to be goose winging. Generally speaking, the jib is behaving itself very well. So is the crew. You have to keep an eye on both all the time. I'd like it if you could stop that sail flapping.
Can you stop flapping, please? Thank you.
Well, we can consider this becalmed. We're now doing less than 1 knot. Not enough to fill the sails. And we've got about 4 miles until Land's End. And to be honest, the way the tide is going to work, we don't really want to be round there before 6 o'clock. So we've got a couple of hours to do 4 miles. At this speed we won't make it. Reluctantly we have resorted to putting the engine on to get us to Land's End. Really, the tide has already started flowing northwards from Land's End, so it doesn't seem much point in sitting here and wasting that north flow. So we're going to keep going with the tide here. It will take us around and we'll join the other tidal stream going up towards the Bristol Channel. So for the sake of an hour motoring, we may as well put ourselves around the corner, ready to pick up when the wind increases, which it will. It will. Come on then, there you go. There he is. Up here, Asha. There's Land's End. Have you got any signal?
Not much. Not 4G, just the H.
H for hope.
Hope it was gonna get.
We've got an H for hope that the breeze goes easterly and fills in. So, what rule do we have?
What rule?
Give me a rule when one person's on shift and the other person isn't.
That I wear the life jacket
Yes.
and I don't leave the
Yes.
cockpit without waking you and
Yes.
waiting until you come up.
Exactly.
Same for you.
Yes. That's the rule.
Today when I was on the bow and the cushions were spread out, a fly landed. The fly was exhausted. And I was like, I was ready to chuck it into the sea, but then I said, it survived so far. Let it leave there.
What does it do?
I didn't pay attention.
Well, hopefully he's tucked up nice and warm under the dinghy somewhere, relaxing, thinking, why can't you sail this boat properly, you prick? We're going in the wrong direction. The setting sun seduced us into the clutches of a still night. We watched the stars and waited patiently. In the morning, the dolphins arrived, and they brought the breeze. I wanted to ask you how you feel about your first night's passage.
Oh, it was far easier than I thought. Even before you left to have a snooze, I was freaked. I was. Like, you were talking at me and I was hearing you, but I was like, really? And how am I going to put this together? And then you left, and for a couple of minutes I had to gather my shit up. But after, yeah, it was great. I knew I had to adjust the course. I knew, what to do with the jib. I sort of probably didn't want to touch the main, but other than that, it was great. I was on it, zooming in and out, and wow.
Well done. I think that was a victory.
Oh, thank you.
And it's a cool place to be, isn't it?
Oh,
in the dark.
It's amazing. It's just
with the stars.
So good. For a while, I was just, sort of feet here and there was a shooting star.
Yeah, there you go.
It was incredible. It was so vivid. It had like a two-way track.
Do you make a wish?
Of course, I made a wish.
Good. Never share your wish, though, do you?
No, you don't share your wish.
Share your wish. Very excitable, aren't they? Well, it's a beautiful day after 22 hours. Finally, the optimism seems to have paid off, Asher. There is breeze. Woohoo! And dolphins. The easterly is here. Yes, easterly, yes, easterly, yes. 7 knots. Just forward of the beam. Cruising, man, cruising. Pretty much dead ahead is the entrance to Milford Haven. We may need to adjust a little bit to account for the tide. We have got loads of dolphins. Gently heeled over here. Pretty comfy. How you doing out here?
Good.
Pretty cool, isn't it? Turned into a beautiful sail. Customs could very well ask us where we come from, but yeah, we haven't crossed the border as such, so it is part of the United Kingdom, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see, because people have said to me that the Welsh and the Scottish are far more concerned about people coming in, so we'll see, shall we? Put that to the test.
Yep. No other way.
I generally find if you ask to go in the back door, the answer is no. If you turn up at the back door and knock on it, you've got half a chance. Coming in here beautifully. Well, this is a pleasant sail, isn't it? Wind has increased. Wind has increased just as we're coming into land.
He's on.
Raining in here, 7 knots. That's a wrap. We're in.
We're in Wales.
What's the time?
1:30.
Done. We'll write that in the logbook. And we just backed down pretty hard on that anchor, didn't we? And didn't move. You can make lunch, haven't you? As you've checked out of catering for the last 28 hours.
Some have to steer the boat and some have to make the lunch.
Fair enough.
Food
There
in
you
general.
go. There you go. The captain has spoken. So here we are in West Angle Bay, Wales. The perfect day was followed by a perfect sunset, the traditional whisky in the cockpit, and an early night for the crew. The next day we were up early to go on a dinghy mission. Now, you know we love a dinghy mission, but this one was a little tougher. Wind against tide for 3.5 miles, quite rough and a little bit wet in order to get to a jetty where we could go to the shops. The return journey, fully loaded with food, petrol and diesel, was far better because we were now with the wind and the tide. Second dinghy mission of the day, Asher. And it's going to be even better. I enjoyed getting all of our supplies, but this is for a barbecue, private beach style. So please join us next time when we find the perfect cove for a lovely beach barbecue. We have a visit from the very friendly local police and we explore some of the stunning Pembrokeshire coastline. Did you know you can check us out on our website at www.sailspace.org. As always, thank you very much for tuning in to Adventure Now. We hope you enjoy these episodes. Stay tuned for more. Altor out. Right, my little anal bead.